The night Malik ran, the city swallowed him whole. He had spent his entire life in the crumbling streets of East Briarwood, where gunshots were as familiar as car horns and the weight of survival pressed heavy on his chest. At 18, he had seen more than most did in a lifetime: friends buried too soon, mothers wailing over bodies, and cops who showed up only when it was too late to matter. But that night, he ran. His ribs ached from the last beating. His breath came ragged as he pushed through alleyways, his hoodie pulled low over his face, his hands stuffed deep into pockets to hide the tremble. He didn't have a plan. Only a name. The Whitmores. A white family, clean and polished, who had run some outreach program at his school. They had handed out pamphlets about a better future, offered scholarships, promised kids like him a way out. And Malik needed out. So when he finally stood on their pristine doorstep in a neighborhood so quiet it felt suffocating, he hesitated. The house was big, too big. Lights glowed warmly inside. The air smelled of something sweet, something safe. He wasn't sure he belonged. But then the door swung open, and there she was. Eleanor Whitmore. Blonde. Mid-40s. The kind of woman who looked like she had never been afraid of anything in her life. Her blue eyes widened. Malik? His throat was dry. I need help. A beat of silence. Then she smiled. Warm. Inviting. You're safe now. And for the first time in his life, Malik almost believed it. At first, it felt like stepping into another world. The Whitmores lived in a place where people left their doors unlocked, where neighbors waved and smiled, where dinner was served at the same time every night, and laughter drifted through the halls like it had always belonged there. Malik shared a guest room, bigger than any space he'd ever called his own. The bed was too soft, the sheets smelled like lavender, and at night, the silence pressed against him in a way the city never had. The Whitmores had 3 kids. Lucas, the golden boy. Football star. Easy smile. The kind of guy who had never questioned whether the world belonged to him. Sarah, the quiet one. Always watching. Too smart for her own good. Benji, the youngest. A 10-year-old with boundless energy, already calling Malik his brother by the second week. And then there was Daniel Whitmore. The father. The man of the house. A lawyer, successful, respected. His handshake was firm, his words careful, his approval something you had to earn. Malik tried. He helped Eleanor with dinner. He played video games with Benji. He kept his grades up. And for a while, it almost worked. Until the cracks started to show. It began with the basement. A place Malik was told not to go. The door sticks, Eleanor had said with a laugh. It's a mess down there anyway. But one night, he heard something. A thud. A scraping sound. And then, whispers. Malik pressed his ear to the basement door, heart pounding. Someone was down there. The next morning, he asked Lucas. His easy smile faltered. You shouldn't ask questions. And just like that, the house didn't feel so warm anymore. The night Malik broke the rule, he didn't mean to. It was late. The Whitmores were asleep. But that door, the basement door, was unlocked. So he went down. The air was damp. Cold. Boxes lined the walls, but the room stretched deeper than he expected. And then, in the dim glow of a single hanging bulb, he saw it. A chair. Metal. Bolted to the floor. And beside it, chains. His breath caught. Before he could move, a voice came from behind him. You shouldn't be here. Daniel. Standing at the top of the stairs. Malik turned, his pulse roaring in his ears. What is this? Daniel's face was unreadable. You don't want to know. But Malik did know. This wasn't just a nice white family helping troubled kids. This was something else. Something worse. And suddenly, everything clicked, the way Eleanor had found him so easily, The way Lucas had brushed off his questions, the way no one in this house ever talked about the kids before him. He wasn't the first. And if he didn't leave now, he might not be the last. Malik ran. Out the door. Into the night. His lungs burned, his legs ached, but he didn't stop. Not until he reached a police station. Not until he told them everything. They didn't believe him at first. Rich white families don't do things like this. But then the basement was searched. The truth came out. The Whitmores weren't saviors. They were traffickers. And the kids they had helped before? They had never really left.